Holiday gift for real beer lovers. This hearty warming brew is a classic winter ale, deep amber in color with hints of molasses, balanced by the spiciness of Chinook hops. First brewed in 1995, it has a big sweet caramel toasted malt taste with a little spicy kick. If you like beer, you're going to enjoy this. Nutcracker Ale from Boulevard Brewing Company, available in your local liquor stores.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. Fargo police are searching for a suspect after a woman was assaulted in the downtown area last night. It happened in a parking ramp at around 9:30. The woman was taken to a hospital to be treated for her injuries, which appeared to be non-life-threatening. Police say the assault was not random. They also say there is no known threat to the public. A suspect has been identified but has not yet been arrested. Veterinarians in the metro are warning local pet owners about a respiratory illness impacting dogs. The first cases were reported this spring. It was initially referred to as kennel cough. However, vets are now calling it Canine Infectious Respiratory Disease Complex, or CIRDC for short. A new case of cattle anthrax has been confirmed in Grant County in south central North Dakota. It's the first confirmed case in the state since August. And the cantaloupe salmonella outbreak is spreading, now including 34 states. Minnesota continues to have the most confirmed cases at 14. The total number of confirmed U.S. cases is 117. The Centers for Disease Control says the actual number is likely much higher because many people recover without medical treatment. 3 people have died. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us 1:05 in the afternoon here on this Friday, the 1st of December. Doesn't look like it outside. Temperatures in the mid-30s with a light south breeze. What's going on here? Global warming, chemtrail spraying. What in the world is happening, Bridgette?
Well, it's not chemtrails, but I don't want to rain on your parade there. Hey, there's not even any rain in sight.
It is drier than a bone out there with, we could use some moisture. The month of November, I'll have to comb over some stats, but it was a very, very dry month with very little snowfall, very little precip, opposed to the wet October that we had. So this will be interesting. Our LRC cycle is set. So the first part of it I shouldn't say very wet. The first part of it just above normal, and the second part of it extremely dry. What does this mean for our ag community going into the spring and summer months? Is this something that we should be concerned about? And that's one of the topics that we'll be discussing Tuesday, December 5th. So this coming Tuesday on the Jay Thomas Show, 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, we will have our LRC winter weather outlook, but we will also touch on what the dryness of the second half of the LRC cycle, what does that mean as we go into the springtime and planting months? Talking with Gary, I asked him, I said, is this something that should be concerned about? And he said, concerned, yes. Raising a red flag at this point, no, not quite yet. We get a better handle on things on what happens in cycle 2. So cycle 2 has begun. Let's see, or it's about to begin, I should say. Let's see what happens in cycle 2 as we head throughout the next couple of months. That will give a telltale sign on really what the spring and summer will hold. So we got a good idea now, but we'll have a pretty concrete idea on what it looks like. So let's say, Bridgette, come January, usually that first week, second week in January, that's when we get a firm grip on the rest of the year using the LRC cycle. So let's put the worst case scenario into play here. Come January, middle of January, we realize we are going to have some pretty bad drought conditions this upcoming spring and summer. What can our ag community do anything about it? Can they shuffle things around? in terms of
You're asking me if there's a rain dance of some sort that's going to improve that?
Well, if we know a drought is coming, let's say we know at least a moderate to severe drought. And again, I'm just putting this into the worst case scenario perspective. If we know a moderate or severe drought is coming this spring, summer, all right, we're not going to plant this. We're going to plant something else. Is that an option at this point?
Potentially, you can make some changes in your cropping rotation, but understand that seed is being sold right now for 2024. And the reality is a lot of that seed has already been sold starting back in October.
Okay.
So if you've made some of those decisions, you can try to swap out for other genetics, but also know that it's not so easy because the genetics that are going to be planted in 2024 were raised in 2023. They haven't all gone through germination testing yet for viability, so we don't know if all of that seed is going to make it to next year. So even though you wanted to switch for specific traits, there may not be enough seed availability for you to get that in the fashion at which you wanted it. So there's some things that'll come into play there. And let's face it, no one wants to plan for an insurance claim or anything like that, but there are other things that can be in place that can be helpful.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so so again, our winter weather outlook special on Tuesday, December 5th, starting at 2 p.m. It's going to be an exciting, Gary's got some exciting things happening with not only the LRC, but his company, and he's going to be rolling out some and he'll divulge this on our special. He's going to be rolling out a new product just specifically for the ag community. So
good.
I haven't even told you about it yet, have I, Bridgette?
Nope, I'm waiting in suspense, just like everybody else.
Absolutely. So we'll have more on that again Tuesday with our winter weather outlook. Bridgette, we're going to do a little weather trivia today. In fact,
yay!
Yes, we're going to be giving away one of our productive alternative rain gauges, and it's been a dry November. I don't see any appreciable snow in the forecast till probably mid-month. And so the mid-month storm would be the one that hit us in October, if you remember, out to our west.
We did. We had a fair amount of snow then.
Yeah, 6 to 9 inches of snow. That will be coming our way around mid-month. Now, that would probably be our best shot at a white Christmas. I believe there's one more storm in the pipeline after that one. So logistically, we have about 2 more storms this month. That's it, before Christmas. I think things are going to ramp up shortly after that, or right around Christmas, things might ramp up. So here's the trivia question. Here's
mid-December. Mid-December, you say, right?
You're traveling somewhere, aren't you? Go figure.
Got it. Let me just write that down. Will not make it.
Great. All right.
Okay.
So
what's trivia?
I combed the records. We're going to go back to 1953. So the last 70 years, we're going to go back 70 years. How many Christmases have been totally snow-free? Not a trace on the ground. The ground was bare. 0 snowfall on the ground on Christmas. How many Christmases? And you've got to name the years. So how many Christmases?
Hold on.
Yeah, you know, this is a tough one. You know what? We'll throw in a hat. We'll throw in a WDAY hat as well with that as well. It's a tough one. So since 1953, over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have we had 0 snow on the ground? A trace does not count. We've had a few with just a trace on the ground, but how many have we had 0? I mean, the ground was bare. 1953 till today. Now, keep in mind, on average, it's about an 87% chance likelihood that we see snow on the ground on Christmas. It doesn't have to be snowing on Christmas, but there's snow on the ground. So, over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have had absolutely 0 snow on the ground? 701-293-9000 on our Red Wing Shoes hotline. It's a tough one. This is not easily.
It is.
It's not easily found, but there is a pretty easy way to find it if you know where to look.
It's a tough one, and also remember, you cannot have won something from us in the last 30 days.
That's right.
Either. So
that is correct. That is correct.
Got to be fair to everybody out there. Yes.
So we gave away one of the years I believe earlier this week or last week here on
No,
WAG.
it was this week
Was
because
it?
I remember us
Okay.
talking about it. Yeah, and I was super close in my guess.
All right. We've got a caller on line one. Caller, can I get your name and your guesses, please?
My name is Sandra, and I'm just going to guess there were 3 years. Do I need to give the years?
Well, you're wrong off the bat, but you're not far off.
Okay.
You're
Thank
not.
you.
You're not far off. That's okay. So she said 3. I should have let her give the years to see if we could get it partially right, to give some clues to other callers. She was close. She was very close.
Okay.
And again, about 87% of Christmases have been totally brown. So it's a rare event. And the reason I bring that up is everybody's, they're kind of getting worried now. The ground is bare. We haven't had much snow so far this season.
Right.
Odds are we're going to have a white Christmas, but there is that outside chance that we don't. If we can't get these 2 more storms that are in the pipeline to deposit some snow and we stay on the cold side. And I think that's the problem is even if we get the snow, we're seeing a tendency to warm up at least through mid-month before we start to see a pattern change. And I think it's the start of this month and the end of this month are going to be quite a bit of different. You would expect that.
Meaning you're thinking our weather is going to do a real flip by the time we get
I think
to
so.
New Year's.
Yeah, I think by the end of the month, towards the end of the month, we'll assuming we can get enough snow built up in southern Canada too, which there's not a lot. We could have a good push of Arctic air. So we'll see how that pans out though. Yep, we're going to take it to break right now. We've got to go into our Ag Network and pay some bills. But when we come back, I believe we've got an interview on the line. Is that correct, Bridgette?
So we do, and I'll kick that off. You know that I spent this week in South Dakota. I was in Watertown. I spent about 3 days down there, and I had an opportunity to visit with their keynote speaker, and his name is Glenn Newcomer with Newcomer Farms in Ohio. Glenn actually is another farmer, and he came to talk about why farmers should have a business advisory board. So many businesses have those that they can go to ask questions, and Glenn had a near-fatal motorcycle accident about 10, 12 years ago, and he decided he needed to make sure that his farm was in a good spot whenever he decided that he was not going to be farming. Or better yet, let's be financially responsible for what we're doing today. So Glenn came to share his message. I was able to visit with him and have an interview, and we're going to play that when we do come back. So we'll get that opportunity to hear from him. Again, it's Glenn Newcomer, Newcomer Farms in Ohio, and we'll catch up right now with the American Ag Network. Stay tuned. You'll want to hear all of this.
Feeders are leading the livestock lower for the American Ag Network. I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. Live cattle futures have posted additional firm losses today. The fact that calendars rolled to the month of December did not change the overall tone of market direction seen at the end of November. February futures, which are the most actively traded contract in the live cattle complex, has fallen nearly $3 per hundredweight over the past 2 trading sessions. And although prices are still hovering above support levels and multi-month lows set earlier in the week, concerns that limited renewed support in both fundamental buying interest and technical trade could revert to additional follow-through losses during early December. Feeder cattle futures continue to be a significant driver in the live cattle complex at the end of the week here, as traders are remaining concerned of the extreme volatility in nearby feeder cattle contracts. Cash cattle markets have remained quiet today. Trade trickled in through most of the week with light and scattered trade seen in most areas over the past 4 days. Southern trade posted prices from $171 to $175 per hundredweight, mostly at $174 to $175. That is generally $2 to $3 lower than last week's average. Northern dress trade developed at $275. That is $4 lower than last week's average. While some minor price shifts may develop, the tone of the market is expected to remain weak. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down a buck and select up 116 with a movement of 115 loads. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
The North Dakota Crop Improvement and Seed Association is leading the way, empowering farmers, granting them access to revolutionary genetics. Our mission is to equip farmers with state-of-the-art seed varieties with proven robust agronomic traits, including high yield, ideal test weight, rich protein content, and formidable disease resistance. All the while, we remain committed to preserving superior end-use quality. Witness the future of farming unfold at ndcropimprovement.com.
Our pets love us, from the moment they meet us until the day they leave us. Homeless animals deserve the same long, love-filled lives. Be an animal's hero and join Turtle Mountain Animal Rescue's foster team today. Everything you need is provided. Go to turtlemountainanimalrescue.org. Choose how to help and then select foster.
December down 160 at 169.27. February down 245 at 169.37. April down 252 at 171.90. And the June live cattle, they're down 250 at 167.70. Feeders, January down 592 at 214.02. March down 607 at 216.50. Lean hogs, December up 2 pennies at 68.80. February down 155 at 69.92. And the April lean hogs, they're down 112 at 76.22. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Oh, welcome back. Thank you for joining us here on Weather and Ag in Focus. So glad you're along for the ride this afternoon. And while you're listening, take that moment to go to WDAY Radio's website. Now through December 15th, we are going to ask you to nominate online those who have the need for not only a warm heart, but a warm home this holiday season. Legacy Plumbing is pairing up with WDAY, and you can nominate those who need a new furnace. And if they live in Cass or Clay County, they may be chosen for a new furnace from Legacy Plumbing. Make sure you do that today. Go to our website, click on the hot links, and supply your nomination for a warm heart, warm home from Legacy Plumbing. So, Dean, this week I got to spend a little bit of time in South Dakota. I was down in Watertown, and this was the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association's 75th convention and meeting.
Wow.
And I feel like I get to spend a little bit of time in the beef production arena these days. They had a guest speaker come in. He was their keynote, and he comes from the grain side of the business. Not always do you see a huge crossover from one to the other at a convention like this, but Glenn Newcomer is the farmer from Ohio who came to be their keynote speaker. And he wanted to talk about something he's done for his farm, and that was having his own advisory board to help make business decisions. They meet quarterly. He's very open with them about reviewing his books, helping him make marketing and farming decisions, discussions about employees, all sorts of things. So I took the opportunity to visit with Glenn and ask him a few questions, and we're going to roll that interview right now. So Glenn, tell me a little bit about your farm operation.
We have a diversified grain operation in Northwest Ohio. It's in the flatlands of in the northwest corner of Ohio. I'm the fifth generation farmer with my son, who's coming in as the sixth generation. Typical Midwest corn, soybean, wheat operation, and we have some diversification with a few other entities, but we've been at it for some time.
Now, you're a grain guy, and here we are at the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association's convention. Why are you here? Did you decide you want to buy a herd?
Oh, I'd love to be in the cattle business, but we used to be years ago, but I just haven't been able to make that commitment yet. But the reason I'm here today is because I was asked to speak on the value of business advisory boards as they relate to farming operations. I've had one in place for 10 years now, and the value that brings to my operation is almost indescribable. It's just helped me out tremendously, make management decisions, and help me focus on succession planning and transitioning the farm.
Are all of your advisory board members involved in agriculture, or do you find it's better to have different business venues to give advice?
None of the people on my business advisory board are actively involved in agriculture. They're business professionals from outside of industry, but business is business. And what I was looking for when I selected them to serve is the unique characteristics of what they bring to the table as far as professionalism and just the raw experience that they have in the industries that they represent. I think it adds value to a board having diversity.
I think it does too. Think about what you've been talking about here today. And as you've listened to feedback from producers that you've been visiting with, is there a specific question that's really come up that they have said, I want to ask you this even after hearing your presentation today?
I think there's there's some question about how large you have to be in order to justify having an advisory board, or what is the benchmark established, or where do we need to be in order to really get the value we're looking for out of an advisory board. And I think that it's very unique in that a person has to decide that for themselves, if that's something that they need in their operation, right? Depending on the amount of planning that they have, or where they're at in the growth of their company or their business. I believe that there's a unique time where it provides the most value, and there are times maybe when it's maybe premature. And I think if you have good conversations with some of the people that help you make your estate plan or your succession plan, they can help guide you in or make suggestions of people that would bring to the table those attributes that you're looking for.
If you were to make any changes in your advisory board today, would there be a specific skill or business or trait that you would want to add after you've had this advisory board now for the past decade?
I have a very talented board, but my area that I think I need the most help with is in HR. Managing employees, managing people, communicating effectively, developing standard operating procedures, all of the employee handbooks, things like that are very important if you want to maintain strong communications with your people. That's where I need help. Managing people and personalities can be the most challenging part of a business. It's not as straightforward as input decisions, for example. Managing people is a real art as much as it is a skill.
And a little bit of science.
Mm-hmm. A lot of science.
So thank you, Glenn. I appreciate taking some time to visit today, and I think that your discussion here at South Dakota Cattlemen's Association is also very much appreciated by the livestock producers in this area. So welcome to South Dakota.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's a great interview, Bridgette. How many people were down there for the convention?
Oh, I would venture a guess there was probably 300 or 400 people wandering around. We had a great time. Just the networking, the opportunity that you get to visit with so many other producers from such a strong area. What's also unique about this particular region is the National Cattlemen's president currently is from DeSmet, South Dakota. That's Todd Wilkinson. And the one who's just most recently passed is Don Schiefelbein from Kimball, Minnesota. So this Midwestern area is very well represented. I mean, you had folks in the room. They're some of the largest seed stock producers in the U.S., all the way to those who are just kind of getting started. South Dakota State University has a new collegiate cattlemen's club, and those students were there to be recognized for taking the initiative to want to grow their own organization. A lot of these folks, well, I'll get to see them again in Orlando at the end of January at the National Cattlemen's Beef Association's annual meeting,
End of
called
January.
CattleCon.
Yeah, man.
I will be in Orlando for 3 days. See you from there.
I think, don't you need somebody down there to discuss the LRC to everybody? I mean, I might be able to make that trip.
Well, you can do that. One of the things that I'll be doing is hosting something called the Back Porch. And that is a spot for folks who can stop and visit. We will have resources as well as people available focusing on rural mental health. So if you are looking for who can I call, who can I talk to, we'll have those types of items available for folks. Additionally, there will be someone right there on hand to sit down in a old-fashioned rocking chair right next to you and just visit and see how they might be able to help in your world. We have, as you know, very high stress rates in agriculture, and we're looking for ways to give people an opportunity to find avenues to alleviate some of that stress and look for help when they need it.
Right.
So it's a good spot.
And like we were talking about earlier, about our winter weather special coming up on Tuesday, December 5th on the Jay Thomas Show, right after Weather and Ag in Focus here. I've received numerous emails on specifically January. What does it look like in January? I'm traveling down to the cities for a flight and then coming back on another date. What does it look like during these dates? So we're in the process right now of finalizing our show, and then shortly after that we will start to put together our LRC calendar. So we'll answer some of those questions on air on Tuesday, and the other ones we'll take care of via email. I just wanted to let you know in case, so you're not hearing back from us here over the next week. That's if we don't cover it on air Tuesday, as soon as we get that calendar done, which doesn't take too long, we'll be able to kind of pinpoint what some of those days look like. And if you have any questions on travel dates, or I've had people, daughters getting married June 5th. What does the weather look like? And again, once we get this calendar set, we'll be able to kind of give a good idea of what that does look like. So that's the great thing about the LRC.
Also, and for those who want to send an email and say, I want to know about this day for this weather pattern, what's going to be happening. If they're emailing you, you might not get back to them within the hour, right? Because you guys get a lot of requests in that time frame.
Right.
So let's just all be prepared and with a little patience till you can get through all of them.
And same with ag questions. I mean, if you have any questions regarding what this, specific parts of the growing season, what it might entail, and we'll be going over this on our special that at least into early spring, probably just getting into maybe early planting season of what'll be drier months, what'll be wetter months. But if you have any questions about that, feel free to email us ag@flagfamily.com as well, because we'll definitely be going over all that. And like I said, Gary's got some exciting news about his company. He's going to be unveiling a new product for our ag community, which will help. He's also it'll be next week. He's going to unveil something new on his website, which is interactive to some of his paying customers. It's really it's kick butt. It really is.
Now, and just we want people to remember that to pay attention that day. And then don't forget to call us and email us and be interactive, because as much as Gary is interactive, we want you to do that. And that's why we have the Red Wing Shoe phone line at 701-293-9000. So you can always be a part of the action and what we're doing. I think that's important.
That is right.
You should know, Dean, the LRC is legendary. Last night I was the MC at Full Pod by Prairie Ag in Fargo, and I had a number of people say, we listen and we follow along with the LRC. So that's great news.
Excellent. Good deal. Good deal. Well, we have to pay some bills right now, but don't forget, we are giving away now a productive alternative rain gauge from Fergus Falls. They are fantastic heavy-duty rain gauges. This would make an awesome I don't want to say stocking stuffer because it's pretty big, but it could fit in a big stocking, but it'd make a good present for sure. We'll throw in a WDAY hat as well, because this is a tough one. All right, so the question is, over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have been totally snow-free? And we have a caller just calling in on line 1. We'll hold off on our break here for just a minute. Welcome, caller. Thank you for listening today. What is your name and what is your guess?
Bob.
What you got, Bob?
I've got a picture that went back years. My son was born, and we've got a brown Christmas down the block that year. 95.
95 was a dry year, but that's not one of them. I believe 95 was one of them that we had officially a trace of snow on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, but good guess, Bob. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
All right, I stand corrected.
That's okay. Hey, it might have been brown at your house, but the airport had officially a trace on the ground that year.
Absolutely. All right, thanks.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, there were quite a few number of years. I'd say over the last 70, there was about roughly 10 that had just a trace of snow on the ground. But we're looking for the years over the last 70 that had zero snow on the ground on Christmas Day. 701-293-9000. We'll take your phone calls even during our break. Our producer, Addison, has the answers. So if you can guess it during our break, stay on the line. We'll get you coming up right after this.
Mike Lindell is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then you go home to use it and it's not very absorbent and it doesn't dry you?
That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. The 6-piece sets have 100% long staple Shipper cotton.
It is a combined ring spun cotton that make the towels softer and more absorbent than ever. Towels that actually dry you.
And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $29.98 with promo code WDAY. WDAY.
Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio podcast specials to receive this amazing offer for only $29.98 on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels. Just go to MyPillow.com.
That's MyPillow.com, promo code WDAY.
Click on the radio podcast special and enter promo code WDAY or call 800-875-0644.
And right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $29.98. MyPillow.com, promo code WDAY.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. Fargo police are searching for a suspect after a woman was assaulted in the downtown area last night. It happened in a parking ramp at around 9:30. The woman was taken to a hospital to be treated for her injuries, which appeared to be non-life-threatening. Police say the assault was not random. They also say there is no known threat to the public. A suspect has been identified but has not yet been arrested. Veterinarians in the metro are warning local pet owners about a respiratory illness impacting dogs. The first cases were reported this spring. It was initially referred to as kennel cough. However, vets are now calling it Canine Infectious Respiratory Disease Complex, or CIRDC for short. A new case of cattle anthrax has been confirmed in Grant County in south central North Dakota. It's the first confirmed case in the state since August. And the cantaloupe salmonella outbreak is spreading, now including 34 states. Minnesota continues to have the most confirmed cases at 14. The total number of confirmed U.S. cases is 117. The Centers for Disease Control says the actual number is likely much higher because many people recover without medical treatment. 3 people have died. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
Hi, this is Kevin Pfeiffer with Pfeiffer's Auction Company. Pfeiffer's upcoming December land and equipment auctions include 480 acres of cropland in Sargent County near Gwinner, 637 acres of cropland in Barnes County, 869 acres of crop and pasture land in Stutzman County, 458 acres of highly productive cropland in Ransom County near Sheldon, heavy-duty construction and equipment truck auction near Fargo, North Dakota. View these Pfeiffer auctions and many more land and equipment auctions at Pfeiffers.com.
Fixed It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
The team at Fix It Forward Auto Care is unique, trustworthy, and driven to serve. Help others while you get your auto fixed at Fix It Forward Auto Care in Moorhead. Find out more online at fixitforwardautocare.com.
This is Mark Wagner at ND Estate Services. I want to thank all the listeners out there and just really wishing you a very Merry Christmas. God bless you. Have a Happy New Year. Encouraging you to give your family the gift of avoiding probate at death, eliminating legal guardianship when you're incapacitated, saving taxes, protecting their inheritance. Find out more at ndestateservices.com, 701-318-0908.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
My God. First it was polar vortex, then it was bombogenesis, then bomb cyclone. Now the new one is thunder snow. What the hell is thunder snow?
Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to thank you for joining us. No worry about thunder snow in our forecast. That's
Nope.
No.
It's all good here.
Although we could use some snow, that's for sure. I know a lot of people, especially snowplow removal business, kids, Justin. Well, that falls under kids.
Right.
Kids. Yeah, would like to see some snow, but there is absolutely, well, I don't want to say none in the forecast, but there's not a lot. We're looking at temperatures currently in the low to mid 30s across the area. We got a mix of sun and clouds out there, and we'll be that way most of the rest of the afternoon. Partly sunny skies, highs in the mid to upper 30s with a south wind at 5 to 10. Not a bad way to start off the month of December. Clouds roll back in tonight with lows near 20. South-southeast winds start to pick up. And then Saturday and Sunday, breezy conditions out of the south. Highs both days, mid to upper 30s. I think we'll see more sun on Sunday than Saturday. And then Monday, a clipper system rolls in here late. That could bring us a little light snow. Behind that clipper system, we briefly drop off into the low 30s on Tuesday before warming back up into the 40s for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Still no big storms on the horizon, but according to the LRC, that system that hit in October out to our west and just to our north where 6 to 9 inches of snow fell, that should be back around here around the middle of the month. Now, there was kind of a different pattern that was set up in October where we had blocking in Canada and we had a split flow coming off the west coast. Now, that doesn't look like that'll be the case towards mid-month. The pattern will be a little bit different. The storm will be there, but if it's not the same pattern, that may glide to our south. It'll be there, but just to our south. We'll wait and see how that all pans out, but again, that won't be till about mid-month. And like we've been saying all afternoon here, our LRC winter weather outlook this coming Tuesday, December 5th, starting at 2 p.m. on the Jay Thomas Show. Me, Bridgette, Justin, Gary Lezak, along with Jay, we'll all be talking about what this upcoming winter looks like. And as we've been hinting, it looks nothing like last winter. And I think we can all agree. Well, we have 67 inches of snow, I think, last winter. Last winter was tough. It was a tough one. It was a tough one.
It was.
We had a caller during the break. Todd called, and he had half of the answer. There's a hint. So yeah, the question, and again, this is to make a great Christmas present. We're going to give away one of our productive alternative rain gauges. Okay, and here's the question. And if we can't give it away during WAG, then this will carry over to the Jay Thomas Show. So you got more time to maybe do a little research and try and find it. So over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have been totally bare? That doesn't include a trace of snow. This means Christmas Day, the National Weather Service recorded 0 on the ground. Over the last 70 years, how many Christmases in Fargo have been totally brown? 701-293-9000 to win a productive alternative rain gauge, and we'll throw in a WDAY hat because this is a tough one. Todd had half of the answer correct. So
I can literally hear people going back through their photo albums at Christmas time, looking and checking the dates to see if there was snow on the ground.
Right. Well, the one caller said, he was 95, said his son was born. He remembers there no snow on the ground. Now, there might have been no snow on the ground at his house, but the airport recorded a trace.
Right, so they're going to say there was still some snow here in Fargo.
Just a trace of snow on the ground. 701-293-9000 if you have that answer. It's not an easy one. And over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have been totally snow-free? In other words, the National Weather Service recorded 0 inches of snow on the ground. We've got a caller here on line 1. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Can I get your name and what's your guess?
My name is Chuck, and I'm going to guess 1975.
That is not right, Chuck.
Sorry, Chuck.
Sorry about that, Chuck. Thanks for calling, though. We appreciate it. And we've got a caller on line 2 here, and you're going to have to, can you pipe that through, Addison? For some reason, that's not letting me. He is on there. Okay. Welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus, caller. Can I get your name and what's your guess?
Yeah, Ron.
Okay, Ron, what do you got for us?
That's the number that there was no snow on the ground?
Yes. How many years since over the last 70 years, how many Christmases have we had no snow on the ground recorded by the National Weather Service?
I would say 7.
7?
Ooh.
No. Yeah.
No.
That's high.
That's a little high. That's a little high. But thanks for calling. Thanks for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. So 7, we've had 3, we've had 1. The 1 was close. And Todd had half of the answer. There's a hint right there. Todd called during the break, and he had half of the answer. So there you go. That's a pretty good hint right there. All right. We've got now the phones are lighting up. So we got a caller on line 1
as well.
Yeah, caller, can I get your name and what's your guess, please?
Ben, I'm going to say 4.
No, Ben. No, it is not 4. All right. Let's take caller on. Who do we have here on line 1? Oh, it just dropped. So call line 2. Okay, here we go. Caller, thank you for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your guess?
This is Sandra, and I think my guess now is 2.
Okay, you got that right. Now, what years?
Oh, and that's harder. Let's go with 1974. And, well, is that one right?
No.
Okay, well, then I have to give up.
Okay. Sandra, you had half of it right, though. You had the 2 right. So now you're giving hints to some of our other callers. Sandra, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. All right. All right, caller on line 2. Can I get your name and what's your guess?
Hey, Dean's Raleigh calling.
Hey, Raleigh, how you doing, man?
Oh.
Good. I'm going to say 2.
Okay, that's correct. What years?
Oh, what years?
Yo, you got to have the years, yeah.
Okay, I've been in and out of the truck, so I missed that part.
That's okay. You're correct with 2 years. Now, what years were they over the last 70?
Well, one of your answers was 1975, right?
Which that was not correct.
So that one wasn't correct.
No.
Oh, boy. I'll say 2006.
That's one.
And, oh, boy. 1982.
No.
But he's given
Raleigh
just helped out a lot of other callers.
Huge hints here. So you got how many years? We got one of the years. We need the other year. Raleigh, thank you so much for calling. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, buddy.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. Well, there we go. We've got 3 out of the 4. If you're listening closely, again, the question is, over the last 70 years, how many years have we had 0 snow on the ground at Christmas? So totally snow-free Christmas. Again, if you were listening, we got 3 out of the 4. You need to give us how many years and which years those were. So it's not an easy question, that's for sure. All right, we got a caller on line 1. Caller, can we get your name and what's your guess?
Name is Chuck.
Hey, Chuck.
I got through again. Cool.
All right.
All right.
2 years.
Yep.
2006.
Okay.
And what was the other one? 1974.
No, that's not it. No, but hey, you were listening because you got 3 out of the 4. So that's good.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
thanks for calling.
Bye.
All right. Let's take our next caller. Caller, what is your name and what's your guess? Did they drop, Addison? All right, let's go back. Let's go back to line 1. Line 1, hey, thank you for calling Weather and Ag in Focus for a chance to win a productive alternative rain gauge. What is your answer?
2.
Okay, which is correct. And what are the years?
And 2006.
Okay.
And 1981.
No, man. Oh, boy. We're just so close. Thanks for calling, though. Much appreciated. Let's go to Addison, line 2. Okay. And hello, and what is your name and what is your guess? They're not coming through on line 2. Did they drop, Addison? Okay. Let's go to line 3. Hello, caller. What's your name and what's your guess?
Yeah, it's Ron again.
Hey, Ron.
You're looking for the last year, I guess. 1980.
No, that is not correct, Ron. Thanks for calling, though. Thanks for trying. And let's go to line 4 real quick here. Hello, caller. What's your name and what's your guess?
Wade. 2006.
Okay, and what's the other one?
1984.
No, man. I'll tell you,
man.
we're coming close. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Later, dude.
All righty. Let's, you want to pull up line 1 there, Addison? For some reason, it's not letting me hear. All right. Hello, caller. What's your name and what's your guess?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. What's your name and what's your guess?
All right, this is Todd again. I'm going to try it again.
All right, Todd.
So it's going to be 2
Yep.
2006.
Okay.
2006, and try 1984.
No. We've had a few guesses of 1984, but no,
I missed them.
You missed them. Sorry, Todd. All right. Where are we going here, Addison? We probably should take break here. Yeah, let's take break. We're running in on, we got to pay some bills here. So when we come back, we'll continue to take your calls. Feel free to call 701-293-9000. If you can get the right answer, Addison, our director, has got he's got the correct answers. So we've got 3 out of the 4 already. So let's give away this rain gauge. It makes a great Christmas present. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hi, it's Chief Meteorologist Dean Wysocki. Join me, Meteorologist Justin Storm, and Ag Director Bridgette Readel for our Winter Weather Outlook Special, Tuesday, December 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. We'll break down when you can expect this winter's biggest storms and more using the LRC weather forecasting model. Our friend and founder of the LRC, Gary Lezak, will join us as well. Plus, we'll take your questions and comment. That's the Winter Weather Outlook Special, Tuesday, December 5th, beginning at 2 p.m. on WDAY Radio. Brought to you by Accent Plumbing, Hefty Seed, Jiffy Lube, Air Mechanical, and North Star Ag.
Join Fargo area conservatives for the Fargo Second Amendment Gun Raffle Friday, December 8th at Avalon Event Center. Tickets are $25. Hear from FBI whistleblower Garrett O'Boyle about his courageous journey since giving bombshell testimony before Congress. Buy chances to win one of 20 incredible guns. Doors open at 5 for a night of dinner, door prizes, live music, and a silent auction. Join other local conservatives and honor heroes in sacrifice. Get your tickets at FargoGunRaffle.com. Paid for by Fargo area conservatives. West Plains Inc., a certified Case IH dealer, is on the lookout for a dynamic and motivated service manager in Bowman. If you're ready to lead a team, efficiently process repair orders, and contribute to a successful marketing plan, West Plains Inc. wants to hear from you. Enjoy competitive wages, a 401k retirement plan, health, dental, and vision insurance, and more. Email your resume to hr@plainsag.com. West Plains Inc. is proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. DayQuil Kids Berry from Vicks. DayQuil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that DayQuil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
DayQuil Kids Berry. The kids' berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
Let's head out. The theater's about to close.
Wait, what does that sign say?
Warning, watch your step.
No, next to it.
If you are 60 or older, you may be at increased risk of serious consequences from RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, compared to adults younger than 60. I didn't know that.
Not all dangers come with warning labels. Talk to your pharmacist or doctor about getting vaccinated against RSV today. RSV vaccines, including Pfizer's, are available. Learn more at bewareofrsv.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. At 1:51 in the afternoon. I want to thank everybody for joining us on this mild, that's right, mild first day of December. Unbelievable outside. I mean, it's not record-setting, but anytime you can get temperatures in the mid to upper 30s, not bad. We're at 35 right now here at the studio. Other temperatures around the region, a little cooler out in Lakes Country, 30 in DL. We're looking at 36 in Grand Forks, 37 in Prosper. So some areas already poking into that upper 30 range. And we'll top out in the upper 30s across much of the FM area as we head throughout the afternoon. So we have, do we have a winner yet, Addison? We don't. Do we have anybody online? Okay, let's go to line one. And hello, caller. What's your first name and what is your guess to win a productive alternative rain gauge?
Raleigh calling back. I'm going to take one more shot at it.
All right, Raleigh, here you go. So how many years have we had a totally snow-free Christmas? No snow on the ground.
2.
Yep. And those years?
And years were 2006, 1985.
No. We got 3 out of the 4. I know. Oh, man. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling, Raleigh. All right.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Have a good one. And we got Ben on line 2. Ben, thanks for calling Weather and Ag in Focus. What's your guess on our trivia question?
We have 2.
Okay.
2006
in 1957.
You got it. All
right.
All right.
Back to the year my dad was born.
In 57. And if you're, I don't know if you, obviously you don't recall since your dad was born that year, but 57 and 58. I figured that would be if people could Google that, that was the least amount of snow we received here in Fargo the whole season, 57, 58, 9.3 inches. Wow. That was a very dry winter. So, well,
No
Ben,
doubt.
congratulations. You haven't won anything in the last 30 days, right?
No.
Okay, perfect. We'll put you on hold here. Addison, our director, he will gather your information. So we'll throw in a hat. That was a tough one. We'll throw in that Productive Alternative Rain Gauge and a WDAY hat for you as well.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben. Have a great weekend. Addison, you want to take that
Definitely.
then?
You too, guys.
Get his info?
Thank you
All
for
right.
everything.
Perfect. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, Dean, I'm going to give you some homework, though, because if you said that it was so dry in the winter of 57 to
I know what you're
58,
going to ask me.
What
Right?
was the summer like?
I
'Cause
know.
I'm going to need you to do your homework. Listeners give us homework all the time.
Right.
Now I get to assign some to you.
So what was the spring and summer of 58 like is what you're asking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I am. You're going to go look that up for us?
Well, I mean, it'll probably have to wait until Monday. Yeah.
Good news. I won't forget. I'll write that on our list of things for Monday so we remember.
Okay. If it was earlier, earlier in the show, I'd probably be able to look it up. But it's just
we'll find it.
That's going to take a little bit. Yeah, no doubt. So we got a couple of ag topics to go over. Which one do you want to hit on?
Well, we do, and there's a young man over in the Ada Borup West FFA chapter in Minnesota, and his name is Daniel Jessen, and he just received the he's representing Minnesota and received the American Star Farmer Award at National FFA Convention here at the beginning of November. So Daniel is 20 years old. He's a student at North Dakota State University. Farms by day, and if we had snow, he would be doing snow removal at night in the city of Fargo while he goes to school. But he was raised on his family's farm, raising sugar beets, corn, soybeans, wheat, and alfalfa. And then he decided to start baling straw and the alfalfa. And last year he did 1,000 acres that were baled. He has bought his own haying equipment. He also bought a semi in order to be hauling hay. This is his project he's been doing since he was 14. Additionally, he is now owning 150 acres of land. I'm going to guess him in the bank. I bet there's a little bit of work there for Daniel yet. But that is a great sentiment to how we can get started with projects in 4-H or FFA, and they build into lifelong jobs, careers, your farm, and more. And so congratulations to Daniel, again, winning the National FFA American Star Farmer Award. That was outstanding news
That's
for
great.
Minnesota.
So I've got an answer for you already.
All right. What do you got?
So the spring of 1958, March, April, and May, extremely dry with temperatures.
I bet.
So March, April, May, June, July, August, all 3 months had above normal precip. Now, keep in mind, we'd have to go and really scour the weather maps. But in the summertime, in June, July, and August, remember, you can get those random thunderstorms that park themselves right over one certain area and another certain area remains dry. Very unlike the winter and spring that we get. So the planting season was very dry, but June, July, and August, at least recorded out at the airport, or in the Fargo area.
At the airport.
Yeah, it was wet for June, July, and August, but planting season, March, April, May, were very, very dry.
Okay, we're talking about 1957 and 58. A time frame when you think about the agriculture around here, because this was marking things right around Fargo. What were we primarily raising? Wheat, which has more of a drought tolerance, if you will. We probably had a little bit of corn. I don't think that soybeans had really taken a strong foothold yet. We were already raising some sugar beets, likely some sunflowers.
Okay.
So it would have been a different crop mixture as well versus what we see today that farmers would be doing if they were planning ahead for a drier planting season before it caught up to them later on in the season. And so we say this all the time in the summer months, Dean, timely rainfall is what matters for that crop.
Right.
We just got to have
and a lot
it
of
come in when
those
we need it.
in those months that we had, looking back over the months that we had, it was basically one day that month where we had a big rainfall. The rest of the month,
Sure.
not much at all. So it brought it above normal.
Okay, but it brought it above normal. But how much of that actually went into the soil? Because you like to see a
Right.
long, 2 or 3 day soaker that
Mhm.
really goes into your subsoil moisture versus that heavy, impactful 1 day rain and it's all runoff. So that would have made a big difference too.
Okay, we've got
All right.
we've got one more caller. I think he's got a question for us, Bridgette. We've got about 1 minute,
Okay.
caller. What's your name and what's your question?
Oh, this is Matthew from Fargo, and it was actually just a comment. You guys are doing great, and I want more screaming goat.
You want more screaming goat? Well, you know what, Matt? There you go, buddy.
We missed you all week, Dean. Come on.
Thanks for calling, Matt. And thank you, everybody,
Thank
for
you.
listening to Weather and Ag in Focus. For myself and Bridgette, we want to thank you and have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Mike Lindell.